4 out of 10 agents say more than half of their business comes from people they've already sold a house to. No cold calls, no bought leads, no dancing on TikTok at 7 in the morning. Today, I show you how they do it, why your database is a graveyard that you've been building without knowing it. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, 1 in 5. So that is our number for today, 1 in 5. Now, that's how many of your deals should come from someone you've already sold a house to. So 1 in 5 for the average agent, for the agent that does this right. It could be more, of course, but for now, 1 in 5 is the absolute minimum of what you should be getting from your existing people that you've worked with before. So it can be more than half actually if you do this right. But let's be honest with yourself. When's the last time you actually talked to a past client? So not just like their photo on Facebook, but actually talk to them. So I'm DJ Paris. Today we walk through your database together and I show you the graveyard that you've been hiding and been building. So stay with me. This one pays for itself before lunch. So here's the actual number. So the National Association of Realtors, their 2025 member profile, agents reporting that their own business and kind of the stats around it, right? So the typical agent gets 1 in 5 of their deals from repeat clients. So people they've already sold a home to. And that's before referrals. So another 21% of the average agent's business comes from past clients sending friends their way, referrals. Two separate streams, both pouring out of the same list that you're probably ignoring. So now you're probably thinking 1 in 5 sounds pretty good, right? That's the trap, because in that same report, it says agents who have been at this 16 years or longer. Well, 4 in 10 of them say repeat business alone is more than half of everything they do. More than half, not cold calling, no buying leads, no dancing on TikTok at 7 in the morning, right? So, what separates the 1 in 5 agent from the more than half agent? That's the cool part, right? It's not talent, it's not their market, and it's not even luck. It's that one group of agents treats them like past clients, like they're an actual business, and the other treats them like they're a memory. So here's the picture that I want you to really grasp. You've got hundreds of names in your phone, and every single one of them has trusted you, or at least the ones that have worked with you, right? They've trusted you with arguably their biggest financial purchase or one of them. The closing date came, went, you hand over the keys, and then silence from you. So Inman ran a piece on this just a month, or this month actually, and the headline was something like, "You didn't lose that client to a better agent, you lost them to silence." Apologize if I'm misremembering that, but something like that. But it's a great line, right? So that's the graveyard. Rows of headstones, every one a name you used to know and you never go visit. Okay. So why does this happen, right? Like, I don't think it's because you're lazy. And I think three things are working against you. And I think you'll recognize all three. So, number one, it does feel weird. You sold Karen a house 2 years ago, and reaching out now feels like you want something, like you're about to hit her with, "Know anybody looking to sell?" Or, "Your referrals are my best compliment," right? Or whatever. So you don't reach out at all because the only version you can picture is a gross one, right? You don't want to be that agent. Number two, there's no system you have in place. So it's always like, "I'll do it later." You get to your database when things slow down, but things never really slow down if you're busy. And later is when past clients go to die. And here's number three, and this is the sneaky one. It doesn't hurt today, right? Ignoring your list really doesn't have any consequences today. Nobody calls to yell at you. The pain is invisible and it's a year away anyway. So your brain files it under, someday, right? So, real quick, I want you to think about this while I take a sip every so often. Which one is you? Be honest, right? Are you one, two, or three? And no judgment. Most agents have been all three, but being honest is really important, right? Let's look at ourselves naked in the mirror and see the truth, right? So here's what I want you to do for me. Think of a past client. Now, not a name off a list, someone you genuinely liked, someone you'd actually grab coffee with Hopefully their name popped into your head or you need more friends, right? But don't type it, don't say it out loud. Just hold on to that person that you really liked. Because in a few minutes, you and I are going to do something with that person. We're going to do something small, but something that works. And by the way, this is all fixable stuff. It's not hard. It's just never been built. It's a system. Let me build it with you. Okay. So here is the system. So I call it it's a three moves thing. What did I call it? The dig. I always try to come up with silly words that probably nobody remembers. Even I sometimes forget, but we call this one the dig because we're going into the graveyard and we're going to bring people back to life. We're going to exhume, we're going to tear, and then we're going to torch. Okay. Sorry, torch, touch, not torch. I'm thinking of Frankenstein. Move one, you're going to exhume. So get every past client into one single place. Right now, they're scattered. Some are in your email, some are in your phone, few on like sticky notes, and that have sit on your monitor since 2 years ago. And that is not a database. That is a crime scene. So pull them into one list. And it doesn't matter if it's a fancy CRM or a Google sheet, right? It doesn't matter. One list, one place. By the way, I cannot tell you how many agents who are top producers in the country who work off Google Sheets. They don't even use CRMs. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I love CRMs. But if you don't have one, you can still do it. Especially now with AI, AI can help you build something in a CSV file too, right? But anyway, you're going to put everything in one place, one location. Everyone who's ever paid you for a commission or sent you a referral or both. That's the list is that you actually want to systematize. Okay. So that name that I asked you to think about, they're on this list, or they should be. So it's almost time. So stay with me. So you've got all these people, you're going to put them in a list. Now, move two, this is called the tier. So not everybody gets the same attention. And pretending they do is why people quit after a month of doing this. So you sort the list into three groups, right? We've heard this before. We need to do it. So your A list is the 20 or 30 people who love you and would refer you tomorrow if you gave them a reason. Now, your B list is everyone else you've closed. And your C list is the loose connections. The A list is the whole game. Those 20 or 30 people are your entire year if you treat them right. So let's do a quick gut check and actually do this. How many past clients are sitting in your phone right now? Just ballpark it. Think about it. It's probably 100 or however long you've been in real estate. Even if it's 20, that's fine. Even if it's five, it's fine. It doesn't matter the number. But let's think about how big that number is. How many deals have you closed, right? So, whatever that number is, and I want you to think about that every single one of those people is someone you could talk to this week. Now, here's move three, the touch, right? Now, this is something that everybody butchers. And a touch is not, hey, just checking in, right? Like, just checking in is the most useless sentence in real estate. A real touch gives them something before you ask for anything. So here's your menu. Take any of these. One, the value text. Hey, your place is probably worth around X now. Just thought you'd like to know. Imagine if you got that text and you're a homeowner. You want to know that, right? And it's not them going to Zillow, it's you showing them that you care enough to tell them without being asked. Okay, here's another one. The neighbor's house sold. So you should always have alerts for wherever you've sold a home, all the surrounding homes, right? Of course you should. You need to know the moment something goes under contract, something sells, because this is a great opportunity to say, oh, by the way, a house just went on your street for X or just went under contract for X. I'm watching it. That's wild, right? That's an awesome text. And then three, the anniversary. Hey, 1 year ago today, you got your keys. Hope it still feels like home. And I'm going to give you a fourth one that is, I have to give credit to my friend Amy Duong Kim from Compass because this is what she does and it's brilliant. She'll call everybody. Now she doesn't, I don't even know if she separates into A, B, or C because you could literally use this with anybody. But she calls and says, and this is one of the things she calls, because I always say, well, why do you call? What do you call? What do you ask them about? You sold them a home a year ago. Like they don't want to talk to you. And she goes, no, but here's what she says. She says, hey, is there a home project you haven't either started or you haven't finished or you're just stuck with? Everybody has a home project that they haven't completed, right? So, and then what she says is, hey, I can help you with that. I know every possible, best contractor for whatever. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to give you some ideas. I'm going to hook you up. That is an amazing call. So cheers to Amy for that. And thanks for telling me so I can tell you. Okay. So every single one of these reasons are the gives you're going to provide before you make an ask. Never ask first, right? And you run it like a schedule, your A list 4 times a year minimum. Have Claude put it in every single for the four reach outs, have it do it in your calendar. Claude will do that for you, or ChatGPT or whatever, once a quarter. So anyone can find 4 moments a year to be useful to somebody who actually likes them, right? So here's why the gift matters. The second you lead with, if you know anybody selling, you're a telemarketer and people hate telemarketers. Nobody has ever been annoyed by their agent telling them what their house is worth. Let me say it again. Nobody has ever been annoyed with an agent telling them how much their house is worth. Lead with a gift. And I don't mean a pop buy. Pop buys are great too, but like those cost money and time. And you got to run them out. There's nothing wrong with it, but this is much easier, much faster, and just as helpful, if not more helpful, than giving them, one of those ketchup, mustard, and relish things. That's that cheesy pun that realtors use. Lead with a real gift, and the ask then takes care of itself. So now I know some of you have been down this road before, and I believe me, I can hear you because I've heard it a million times. DJ, I've tried this. I signed up for a CRM, I sent a newsletter for 2 months, and I got nothing. It doesn't work. And I believe you because nobody wants to read your newsletter. Nobody cares. Okay. A newsletter is a broadcast and it's not a touch. I'm not saying you shouldn't do one. If you want to do one, fine, knock yourself out. No one's going to read it. And maybe it looks cool because it looks like you know something, but people know you didn't put that together. If you did, people don't think you put it together. They think you just bought it and whatever. Again, I don't mean to be down on it. If you're doing nothing else, fine. But that is a huge headache that no one's going to read. And it talks at like 400 people exactly the same. That is not a personal reach out, right? A touch talks to one person about their house, right? Totally different animal. So, two, or another reason is you did this for 2 months and it didn't work. It's not supposed to work in 2 months. You have to do this for the rest of your career. I promise you, if you start making short form video on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, if you do it every day for 6 months, and you're like, I made a short form 30 to 45-second video that was like really helpful, not just to look at me, I just closed a home, but like, hey, here's of something that agent or client asked me, and and here's the answer. If you do that for 6 months, that's not even enough to do short form video. You need to do that every day for years and years and years. And I know this because I talk to the very top agents in the country and they all tell me to do this. By the way, shout out to on my podcast, Keeping It Real, a woman named Sarah Maslowski. She comes on every single month and tells you how to crush it on YouTube well, she does long form video, but you can apply it to short form. She literally gets all of her clients this way. These are all people she has never met before, and she is unreal. So check her out. I forget what we call the episodes, something about YouTube, and she comes on every month. She's awesome. So she'll teach you how to do that sort of thing if you want to do it. But we're talking about personalized reach outs. So repeat and referral business, it doesn't pay back in a season. It doesn't pay back in 2, 3 months. It compounds. So the agent with half their business walking back through the door that they didn't get there in a couple of months. They got there by by being touched rather by the same realtor 4 times a year for years. Okay. So you don't do this and go, oh, I didn't get anything. You go, I know this works because I know tons of agents that do it. DJ, I know tons of, sorry, me personally, I know tons of agents that do this. You might not. I've interviewed some of the best agents in the country. They all do this. And by the way, one more thing, they all answer their phone. They don't have that stupid AI thing that some of you have. Get rid of that. It is the worst. I hate when I call an agent and they're like, they do 5 deals a year. And you're like, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. If that's all you want to do, or maybe you're new. Hey, no judgment. But if you're putting an AI thing you're not that busy, right? So don't do that. Answer your phone. Top agents all know this. So please, it's just my little annoyance. I hate when I get that stupid. State your name and why you're calling. Like, how about just answer the phone? Right? It's not that scary. All right. But here's your one move. Okay. Don't rebuild your newsletter. Do this A-list thing. And this week, send 5 of them one personal message about their own home. You don't have to do 400. You just do 5. That's the test that actually works. So let me put the money on the table, because here's where it stops being just like a cool idea. So say you close 10 deals this year. And if you're the average agent, two of those already come from repeat clients, whether you try or not, right? We've done the math, right? 1 out of 5. Now picture the letting the rest just completely go cold. So every past client you ignore is somebody who's going to buy or sell again, most likely, or knows three people that will, or both, right? And when that day comes, when that day comes, they're not going to remember you. They're going to Google somebody. And if you think people remember you and you don't stay in touch with them, I promise you they don't. This has happened in my own family when my parents sold a condo in a different state that they owned. They loved the realtor. And 6 months later, I was like, oh, I had a referral to give that realtor outside of my parents. And I asked my dad, I was like, who was that? My dad's like, I can't remember. And my dad's a super smart dude. He's like, I don't know. I guess I could look it up. That's not good, right? I was kind of referral to send them. So, all right, you guys get this opportunity. It's big. So that's you handing your next commission instead of to, the agent that you like, or the client handing it to the agent that is you to someone else, right? So this is just somebody who is doing the work. That's what you want to be. And this isn't like hours of a day, right? The graveyard, it isn't just quiet, it's expensive. Like every headstone in there is a check that you're mailing to the competition. Okay. So again, those three for the dig, the three, what did I call them? Exhume, tier, and touch, right? So that's the dig, right? So the past client that I asked you to think about. So here's exactly what you do before you close this stream. So open your text and send this. Hey, John, place just sold on your street. Yours is probably worth around X now. No reason, just thought you'd want to know. Send it and see what happens. See what response you get. I promise you'll get a response, or at least you have to 5 people. At least 2 or 3 will respond. And by the way, the people that don't respond, they just got busy. Like, who cares? No big deal. But you're not bad at follow up. Um, this is what you want to be known as, the person that's not bad at follow up. So what we have to do is we want to let you off the hook on this. Like, this is not always so obvious, and it doesn't always seem like the thing to do. So no shame. That's what I'm here for, to remind you of what the top producers are doing so you can become a bigger and better and more successful producer by doing a lot less outreach. There's nothing more expensive in this game than marketing to find business and trying to convert leads into actual clients. This is a way to circumvent kind of a lot of it. And maybe it's not going to be your entire business. Maybe you don't have that big of a book where people are just going to be sending you referrals. So you do have to go out there and meet new people and put them in your database. But guess what you're going to do with even those people? Even the people that you put in your database because you met them at a party, but you haven't sold them a home yet. You're going to do the exact same thing, because you're going to find out, hey, do you own your home? Cool. Hey, every so often, I just do this for my clients. So I'm figuring I do it for you. I'm going to let you know if something in your neighborhood goes up for sale, because people always just want to know, like, how are home values. And by the way, once in a while, I'm going to let you know what your home's worth. So I'm just going to text it to you. No big deal. Just want to keep you informed. They're going to be like, thank you. That's super nice of you. And you're not going to ask them for anything. You're just going to do those kind of things. Are you going to call them like Amy Duong Kim does and says, hey, tell me about a house project you haven't finished. I'm really good at figuring out how to help you get that solved. Awesome, right? So think about value. You do this, guys, your business will turn around. I know this because so many top agents have told me this, and they're shocked when other people don't do it. So you have the formula, you have the strategy. I've barked at you enough. And by the way, I don't sell real estate personally, so it's easy for me to say, just do this, this, this. I have my own version of this that I need to do when I'm recruiting realtors, right? I have to be like, dude, just saw you sold that amazing home, even though you don't work for me. Like, you're amazing. Like, that's super cool. Tell me how you did it. That's the kind of thing I have to do on a daily basis. And those are great, right? Think about that. Like, I get to congratulate people like, oh my God, you sold a $2 million home. Tell me about it, right? Now, their own managing broker probably isn't doing that, right? So even if this is somebody in your database who worked with an agent in the past and it wasn't you, I guarantee that agent is not messaging them going, hey, by the way, I just looked up today. Your home, I think, is worth around this. Hey, have a great day. You can be that person and you will get that business in the future. Okay, go do this. 5 text messages this week, which will take you all of what, 6 minutes, 7 minutes? Look up the home value, look to see if a home sold on the street, send it to the person, and then watch to see what happens. And then just repeat and rinse every single day. Just do one. All right, guys, see you next week.